welcome back to another prep recap. What the helly? Week 10. So, if you're sort of up to spec with timelines, we're in week 12. It's the start of week 12 now. You know, week 10 and 11 have been busy. I'm still going to do them separately because they were different weeks and different things happened. So, we're talking about week 10 this week. So, week 10, we were sitting in looking at my phone, looking at my stats. So it was the week of like the 1st of June. So we're sitting in the low 62s and sort of swapping between low 62s and, you know, high 61s. So that week, you know, my weight had sort of had a bit of a drop that week because we were sitting in the 60, we were stuck in the 63s and like high 62s for ages, and then we finally had a drop that week. And I remember thinking, amazing, we finally hit the 61s. Rob is going to be so happy. My food will get to stay the same, and my output's already pretty high I've been on 15,000 steps for a while now. I was like, sweet, things are going to keep moving. Well, lo and behold, that is not what happened, because it got around to my check-in that week. And I was expecting, yeah, cool, things are going well, we'll keep going. Rob turned around, which, bless him, this is why he's my coach, he knows what's best, and dropped my food by 100 calories, I think, so I'm in like 1750 at the moment. Hello, Otis, thanks for joining. Come and say hi. Oh. Hi, everyone. You've just been barking at everyone, haven't you? Okay, you can go get in a chair now. That's where he hangs out with me all day. Usually the chair's over there, but anyway. Live, laugh, love. Back to business. So yeah, he dropped my food by 100 calories. I was like, cool, that's chill. Like, I'm not at all hungry, so it's fine. And then at the end of that same check-in, he's like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm going to be adding 3 lots of cardio. Well, I was just not expecting it this early into prep at all. But I did tell him that I said, when I entered this prep, I was like, do not hold anything back. I want you to push the hell out of me. Because last prep, I don't want to say it felt easy, but I didn't have cardio until like, I don't know, 6 or 8 weeks out. And like other people, you know, you can't compare to others, but some people have cardio the whole time. So I was like, I want to feel like it's really hard work too. So anyway, I got my wish, but it's only, the cardio is 3 times a week. Just steady state, or, you know, moderate intensity. And I've got 2 lots of the Stairmaster and 1 lot of the bike. So not bad at all, but it was a bit of a shock to the system. I was like, that's just more time in the gym. And anyway. So that was week 10. And towards the end of that week, we didn't actually really see much of a drop. So we were sort of sitting in around the high to mid 61s still by the end of the week. And I'm like, I've added more cardio, I'm doing more movement, I'm eating less food, things should be moving, blah, 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 had a whatever. And then in week 11, you know, things started to move, which is good. But that was the main thing that happened in week 10. Ash, my partner, has been away in Sydney on a course for like it's already been like 3 weeks. That went so fast. And so that week he did actually come home for the weekend. We went and trained together. We did one of my cardio sessions together, which was a Stairmaster, and he hated it. And then that day was a really good day. Then we came back home, had something for lunch, and then we went and played tennis just for something to do to be active, because, you know, we can't go on date night. We can't go out and, you know, have meals out and do other things like that. So I was like, we need to have fun. So we went and bought, he went and bought tennis rackets from Kmart, and we went and played tennis, which, you know, I'm not very good at it, but it was still fun. And we, you know, that got heaps of my steps up without even having to try, which is what we love. So that was Saturday, and that was really fun. And then Sunday was pretty well just reset for the week, groceries, meal prep, that sort of basic B stuff. And I think I had already done all my training by Sunday, but I would have had to spend a lot of time in this office on my step pad, to get my steps up. But yeah, nevertheless, or maybe I went to the gym on the Sunday and did some posing. I probably did, to be honest. I can't remember now. Sorry. But yeah. Oh, Oh no, that's not anything. It's fine. But yes, so that was week 10. Shocked and hurt about the cardio, but it's actually been fine. Like, it was more of a, like, didn't expect it, but you know what? It's part of my life now. Doing it, loving it. And I would have had that week 2 opposing session with Tay as well, which we have pretty well, we've finished my routine. Like, Odie, can you please leave Frankie alone? Up there, leave him, he's just being himself. Yeah, so we've finished, like, my T-walk and, like, all my, I can't remember, it is the T-walk, like, up all my sides as well and my back. And then we're into my comparisons. So we've finished front comparisons now. We're actively working on that. And then we've like sort of skimmed through back and side comparisons as well, but they're pretty simple. So yeah, that was that week. And that was the session actually that it was awful. It was only 45 minutes, but so on the Tuesday, I'd found out that I was getting cardio added and food was cut, which was fine. And then on the Wednesday morning, it was a rough couple of days, I had this posing session with Tay, which I usually love, but she made me do, and it's for my own interest, holding my poses for like 10, it felt like a long time. It felt like a minute, but it was like 10 to 20 seconds in each pose. And when you're like putting your spine into positions they shouldn't be in, or they're not naturally built for, it hurts. And it was just, I was wrecked by the end of it. Like, it's wild. Like, until you've done it and you've actually, like, when you watch people on stage, it looks easy. It looks like, oh yeah, they're just sort of moving, they're dancing. No, sweetie. The poses you have to put your body into are excruciating. And until those muscles sort of get used to it, it is hard work. Like, that is top tier, the hardest thing of all prep. Not the food, not the training, not the step, like posing. Because I feel like I'm already flexibility challenged. I'm not naturally bendy and really mobile. My body's rigid as hell and all my muscles are so tight. So that is the hardest thing. So that's that. And yeah, that was pretty well week 10 at a grasp from what I can remember. And yeah, went into the week in the low 62s. We did finally see a drop by in the mid to high 61s by the end of that week. So very, very good. But that is where we're at prep-wise. Yeah, that's all that's relevant. Outside of that, I think this prep is so different. Like, I say this every time. It's always like the thought to myself, it's like, why is this, like, it doesn't even feel like I'm prepping. And if you watch all my other videos, I've said that every other time, but it's probably a good thing that I've got lots of stuff going on in the background that I'm doing that are keeping me so busy that I'm not thinking about food. I'm not thinking about, I'm just so locked in with what I'm doing at the moment. And so the time flies by. It's like, oh crap, I actually need to go and eat my lunch now because I'm just, my mind's so distracted with all the other things I'm doing. It's good. Like, it's a good distraction. Like, I'm not in a job where I'm constantly looking at the clock. Like, when I was PTing, you're face to face with a person, which I do miss parts of, but you're also looking at your clock, at your watch constantly, because I've got one off because I already did my steps. You're looking at your watch constantly to see, what time's my next appointment? Is this session running on time? And when you're back to back, like, you're constantly looking at it, and you sort of are more aware of the time. And whereas now, like, I can be like so focusing on what I'm doing, like 1-2 hours will pass. I'm like, oh crap, like it's. Whereas before, I don't know if that has anything to do with it, or my lifestyle just hasn't been as much of a change into this prep. I don't know, but yeah. Long story short, I'm very distracted from everything else in life that's going on. That prep is just something that's happening in the background. Obviously, yes, it's taking a lot of my time and it's like my top priority, but the other things which I'm thankful for, like I'm busy in the back end with what I'm doing with my work and everything else, that it's just something that's happening, which is good. It is good. It's just a part of my life. So live, laugh, I love it. I think I've yappled on enough for week 10. I'm going to go on film week 11 now. And yeah, I think that's all. Love you so much. See you next week. Make sure you subscribe and catch your queenies.